bear attack appeared incredibly real, and it almost was. Facts you probably didn't know about the Edge. A live, trained Kodiak bear was used in multiple scenes throughout film. Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins had to give performances that were extremely close to it. It was not simply cinematic magic that posed a threat. The crew had to act fast to stop the bear's unpredictable behavior at one point. However, Lee Tamahori, the director, continued his pursuit for realism. The survival moments feel so intense caused by all this. Because the actors weren't simply acting scared of the bear, the real thing was just a few meters away from them. It looks like one continuous shot, but filming it was extremely dangerous. Facts you probably didn't know about Children of Men. Director Alfonso Cuarón wanted the ambush scene inside the car to feel completely real, so the crew built a special camera rig that could move through the car while actors fought and panicked. Everything had to happen perfectly in one take. Actors, stunt performers, and the camera operator were all moving inside the tight space at the same time. If anyone made a mistake, the entire scene had to start over. But the biggest twist? Some of the chaos you see wasn't planned. The actors actually lost control of the moment during one take. That's why the scene feels less like choreography and more like real panic. They had no idea it would be so brutal. Facts you probably didn't know about Saving Private Ryan. Before filming, the entire cast attended a real military boot camp. Mud and exhaustion, lack of sleep, actual pressure. Matt Damon, however, did not. In order for the other actors to feel a covert animosity toward him, director Steven Spielberg kept him at a side. That anxiety you experience on screen, it wasn't performing, it was fully frustrating. It feels more like war than a movie because of this. You've probably seen this movie, but forgot how disturbing it really is. Facts you probably didn't know about Triangle. The story looks like a simple thriller about friends trapped at sea, but the script secretly hides clues about the ending from the very beginning. Small details repeat. Objects appear again. Even certain lines of dialogue happen more than once. Most viewers don't notice it the first time, but when people rewatch the film, they suddenly realize the entire story was looping all along. That's why this movie keeps resurfacing online, because once someone remembers it, they immediately want to watch it again. You may recall this film, but you may not have noticed how scary it gets. Facts you probably didn't know about The Gift. Director and star Joeledgerton built the entire story around quiet tension instead of obvious danger. Brief pauses, awkward smiling, strange gifts left at the door. At first glance, nothing appears dangerous. However, each scene ultimately makes things more awkward until the final chapter of events totally alters your perception of the whole story. For this reason, the movie continues to be rediscovered online, because when people recall it, the same comments consistently show up. This movie is so underrated. The actors had to stare directly into blinding light. Facts you probably didn't know about Sunshine. Director Dannyboyle wanted the sun to feel overwhelming and dangerous, so the production used extremely powerful lighting rigs on set. The actors often had to face the lights directly while filming. Sometimes they could barely keep their eyes open. Even Cillianmurphy said the brightness made scenes physically uncomfortable. But that was intentional. The cast wasn't just acting like they were facing the sun, they were actually struggling to look at it. And that's why the film's solar scenes feel so intensely real. It looks like classic Disney animation, but the technology behind it was revolutionary. Facts you probably didn't know about Treasure Planet. Disney wanted the film to mix classic hand-drawn animation with full 3D worlds. That meant every frame had to perfectly match both styles. If the timing was off by even a fraction, the illusion broke. It took years to perfect. The technology was so complex it became one of the reasons the film was incredibly expensive to produce. That's why Disney Company later called it one of their most ambitious animated experiments. And that's why the film still looks futuristic even decades later.
Want to do it again? No!
Even off camera, he began to lose his sense of reality. Facts you probably didn't know about The Truman Show. In order to experience Truman's loneliness, Jim Carrey isolated himself in between takes. He stayed in character all the time, avoided the actors, and doubted his surroundings. Some of the reactions were entirely real because the production included disguised cameras. Peter Weir, the director, was shocked by how authentic it felt. Because of this, both Carrey's portrayal and Truman's reality seemed disturbingly real.